Who remembers being a young kid and knowing exactly what they wanted to be when they grew up? I'm not saying when you were 14, 15 and you're contemplating college and wondering, man, what should I do? What's most practical? I'm talking about when you were like 5, 6, or 7 and you looked at your mom and dad and you were like, I want to go to the moon. I want to be an astronaut. Or I want to go dive in the ocean and study sharks. Or I want to be a professional basketball player. Was I the only one that said those kind of things? No, that's got to be one of those core memories that we all just have, right? Where we all just know what we want to be when we grow up and then reality beats us down, and before you know it, we're wondering if we should become an accountant or a software engineer, which are fine jobs. They are, but I don't think we had the aspirations to be one when we were a little kid. Anyways, this story is the story of how I'm officially continuing my childhood legacy and chasing my childhood dream. Because back when I was 13 years old, I got an Xbox for the first time and I made my gamer tag. That was around the time that the Lonely Island or Lonely Island were very hot, and they had a hit song called On a Boat. And what cooler way to show that you're cool and know what's trending than to name your gamer tag On a Boat after the Lonely Island song? That's where my name comes from. My gamer tag, On a Boat 97. 97 is just for the year I was born. And at the ripe age of 13 years old, I was hopping on to Xbox Live as On a Boat 97. Within months, I was like, I think this is so fun. I want to do something bigger than just play video games. And I want to say within a few months, I was able to start a YouTube channel. I don't remember exactly how I got all the equipment needed, but I remember I got a very cheap game card capture called the Roxio game capture. I think it was like $40 or $50. And I remember hooking it up, figuring it all out, and being on YouTube as literally almost one of the first gaming guys. Obviously, it was a few years deep. It wasn't YouTube in 2005 or 2006. It was YouTube, I want to say, in 2010, 2011, maybe 2009. I just remember YouTube being so much different than it is right now. Do any of you remember MySpace? MySpace was like personalized profile of yours. You could literally have music playing on your profile. You could set up a profile theme, background. You could showcase who you wanted to be your best friend. It was pretty dope. YouTube gave off similar vibes to MySpace, in my opinion. It almost felt like an upgraded MySpace, but it wasn't, especially where it headed in the future because we got a lot more linear and a lot more professional looking. But YouTube used to be a place where you could highlight your favorite channels and do it like more than just a row in your channel's home feed. It used to be a place where you could customize the theme of your channel, and I remember it looking way more personalized than what it is right now. Like everything right now is very to the metrics, very professional looking, very optimized. Back in 2009 to 2011, YouTube wasn't really going for optimization. It was going for personalized experience. And I really miss that. But anyways, when I was on YouTube during my heyday, I was posting Minecraft and Call of Duty videos. I was posting redstone tutorials. I was doing how to build house tutorials. I was doing boat tales over Call of Duty where I was just telling you guys about my life. And I loved it. Believe it or not, I think it was a lot easier to grow a YouTube channel back in the earlier years because the quality that I pushed out wasn't as good and the consistency I did it at wasn't a lot. I didn't promote it over anywhere. Somehow YouTube was probably just less saturated, so you had a bigger shot of being seen. And I eventually got up to 5,000 subscribers total. I remember that being about the peak. It could have been 5,400 or something, but it was like just over 5,000 subscribers on my On About 97 channel. I was thrilled. I thought it was really, really cool. But then this was around the time that I was 16, 16 and a half, and I started dabbling in other jobs. And I realized, man, YouTube is not where the money's at. If I'm going to make a name for myself, I got to follow where the money's at. And I kind of pushed YouTube to the wayside. And that is one of my biggest regrets as an adult. That was one of my biggest childhood regrets as a kid. But you live and you learn, and now it feels so good chasing my childhood dream as an adult. This is a journal entry of the slow decline. Like, this is the first journal entry in my first ever journal, and it talks about YouTube, and it talks about how YouTube is starting to take the back burner and go downhill because I'm getting all this other stuff started up in my life. But here, it's kind of cool. Listen to this. I remember that my YouTube was going strong. What was it, like 100 subs a week at its high point? Since starting to instruct and picking up a job, YouTube is the part that is getting the short end of the stick. I will forever remember On About 97 on YouTube, later changed to just On About for trying to be completely original. I'm still able to do YouTube, however, I feel like I left the opportunity to shoot big. Now my channel is getting 1 subscriber a day on a good day, and it's just something I'm a bit sad about. I feel as if I'm forever stuck at 4,000, but all of this complaining does no good. The only way to thrive and grow is to commit to it and stay on top of things. I hope my friend starts his channel up so we can cross promote each other and maybe get kind of big. My ultimate dream regarding YouTube is to get 100,000 subscribers. That way I can get a silver plaque from YouTube that says my name. How cool would that be? I guess my plans for my channel include using the Elgato game capture that's supposed to arrive tomorrow and make Let's Plays on it. I want to play the games of my childhood and post videos about them. That was in my first ever entry to my journal that I've kept for over 10 years now. This is like almost 11 years ago. So this is raw thoughts from like little old me. Back when your boy was in school, they had us write a letter to our future self. So I wrote this letter to my future self. I wrote this letter on January 27th, 2014. And I wrote it to myself a year later. So I was opening this letter and it was 2015. But in this letter, it says, I hope you have become someone I am proud of. How many YouTube subscribers do you have? And in the PS part of my letter, I wrote down that at this point in time, I had 1,472 subscribers and 213,720 views. I say this because I got far on my YouTube journey as a kid, and I regret stopping it. I remember pressing the delete button. I remember thinking it was the right thing to do, but if I could take it back, I would. I remember my channel was such a great opportunity for me to just make videos of anything I wanted, express my creativity in Minecraft through buildings, express my creativity through storytelling with Call of Duty Boat Tales. And oddly enough, when you're a kid, you kind of have thicker skin, or you just are less afraid to lose. Like, you're still learning everything and you're not calloused by the reality of life. And so I remember in high school, I was in like this Microsoft Office class, and I would put my YouTube channel, screen share it to the front of the class when I was being like the demo person, and put it to my channel name. And people would see like the Call of Duty zombie videos I would do, or like the multiplayer videos I would do, or Minecraft. I was just like trying to subtly promote my stuff in school because you're a kid. Why wouldn't you do it? And I remember like my friends being like, wow, you have like 300 subscribers now, or like, wow, you made it through 1,000. And I remember it being like big hype in school, like, oh, you're the guy that has the YouTube channel. And even though I only made it to like 5 at the very end, it's still really cool. And I miss the whole like, let's build a community, let's build a place where we all have a common interest and we all just want to share our life and be cool and be chill with each other. I miss it. I do. Truth be told, I have tried this a couple times. This is not my first rodeo at chasing my childhood legacy. I made another channel on a Boat 97. I made it when I was about 22 or 23, so a few years ago at this point, and it lasted, I want to say, 2 years. But I'm really hoping that through dialing in on what I'm passionate about, dialing in on what works, what doesn't work, and just finding something that really brings me joy and makes me happy and gets me excited to keep going will help me chase my childhood dream. And this last piece I want to talk on is what it means to me to go after my inner child wants. We all have that inner voice in our head where it's criticizing us, telling us we're not good enough, or telling us we need to do better, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. But when I'm working on this, when I'm pursuing what I know deep down the little kid in me wants, I feel quiet. I feel focused, like I can work on this for hours at a time. I feel like it's fun. It's something enjoyable for me to do. And I'm not going to lie, it always rains before there's a rainbow, right? So it's not all great. There is still some frustration here. I want to be completely transparent with you guys. Sometimes I'm like, dude, this is never going to work. I want to quit. I'm 2.5 months in. I have 10 subscribers. It is what it is. It's a grind I'm worth grinding for, and it's a journey I want to take and see what happens. Here's to never giving up on what our inner child wants, and here's to chasing the dreams, because if I can do it, I know you can too.